young people in Dallas, if they were to come here, probably the police would be here chasing people away right now. That is how many they are, and that is how many have not showed up. There are so many that it would be good if they would come and have an opportunity to interact with leaders. So we need to see, is it the way we present ourselves, or the way these kind of forums are presented do not appeal? I'm speaking as a person who does events here in Dallas that attract 1,000 people. Hizi zetu za kukaa huku kwa hall na maviti na masuti zinaletaga tu watu 200, 300. Muna miss watu wengi wale, the people, you are missing the future of Kenya actually is missing. Very few of them are represented right here. People that are going to be the things that you are doing right now, people that are going to be directly affected by the things that you are doing right now, majority are not here. The very few that are here, we represent probably 5% of them. And they are the ones that you are, and many of them are professionals, by the way. They are nurses, they are pharmacists, they are technicians. A lot of them are in the field of computers, and they have got good ideas and good things that they can bring back home. But something that prevents them from wanting to gain interest in stuff like this, the corruption, or what they get from the news, the corruption level in Kenya. Kuna vitu zingine tunaangalia vile mtu anaiba pesa Kenya, unasema ai, mtu akiiba hivi kwani hata nyinyi muoni, ama pia nyinyi kuna vile yani kuna vile Kenya mnaibiwa, hata sisi tunashindwa mnaibiwaje hivi. You know, we talk billions have become something that Kenyans talk about every day, and probably they do not even know how many zeros are in a billion. It has become such an easy word that we look at it and say, the other day, one of my friends is called Roy Masharia. Anasema, toli inabidi turudi Kenya. Kama watu wanatoka na mamilioni hivi, tunafanya nini huku? Tunafanya nini huku majuu? Inafaa sisi turudi Kenya tu. Tuangalie vile. Hata sisi enjoy. Huku ni ngumu. Ukitupa karatasi chini huku kwa street unapigwa ticket, unalipa. So there are things that we see that kind of discourage us. My friends keep asking me, toli unarudi Kenya lini? And also the things that we look at as means of things that successful people do, we need to broaden our vision. All along here you have been talking about new hospitals, you have been talking about, nobody really touched on sports. I'm very big in sports. I play basketball, I play soccer. I came to America through music. Some of you might have heard about Nonini, Jua Kali. I used to be the manager of Calif Records. Kwa hivyo hiyo mziki, I know entertainment in Kenya very well. Ndio maana mkisikia nasema mimi ni kijana wa mtaa ukweli. So I know, and also on this side I'm also interested because I know the potential. And I would also like you to look into that. Not necessarily the traditional things that we know that create employment. Sports can be a very, very big employer at county level and at national government level. So as we interact and as we want to hear the things that we think about, or things that make us not want to interact with things or come to events like these, those are some of the things. Or they think that you cannot communicate with them. Pia kuweni wajanja adopting technology. Media page then you interact with people on Twitter, because I understand some of you, most of you, Twitter, you employ somebody to handle for you your Twitter. Sometimes also, even if you employ somebody, sometimes go in there and respond to some of the things that are on there. So there's a lot of things, and I would just like to ask you as leaders, you have a big challenge trying to impress the Kenyan youth in diaspora. Bado atupatani, to communicate. Sababu vitu zinaletwa, and the things that keep coming from Kenya, they keep coming wanting to sell us land. You keep coming telling me to open an account. Sasa nikifungua account KBC na mimi niko huku nafanya atuoni hiyo connection vile inanisaidia. We need to start doing things that, yeah, if Equity comes here, open an account. KBC comes here, open an account. Inaitwa sijui nini mortgage, nunua nyumba, nunua shamba. I relate na vijana wa hapa, hiyo ni vitu ya zamani. They need to know they can invest in stocks, they need to know they can invest in shares. So if you would encourage the private sector to also keep coming, as opposed to just government, and as opposed to people that just come to sell land and come to sell us plots, and kuna ma plot Kiambu na sijui za wapi. Fungukeni pia akili kidogo. Pretty much there. That is the thing but most of it I would like it to be a question and answer about people, the questions that they want to ask and what you can say. And then the politics. We also encourage you to play your politics at a higher level a bit. politics yenyu iko chini sana. About the election time, mnacheza hiyo politics chini sana, na pia tuna level ya viongozi wanachaguliwa saa nyingine pia inatupa wasiwasi. Level ya viongozi inachaguliwa inatupa wasiwasi. Ndio tunawaheshimu kama viongozi, people that people elected, but sometimes we also question ourselves. The level of leaders that are in Kenya, unashindwa huyu alichaguliwaje? Kwani kunaendaje? Kunaendaje? No, sitaki kuelaborate sana. Kama hapo pa Nairobi, na tulikuwa tumengoja Sonko sana, because I grew up in Nairobi. I really wanted to meet Sonko. There's a lot of people that come from Umoja, the Eastland side, Buru, and they have things that they want to share with the governor, like on how they can help with things like revenue collection. Some of them are good software writers that can help them have apps that people can pay on. Na hii pesa iendi kwa vile kama hiyo ya Nairobi, the way it is done, somebody pays online, it goes to somebody else's account before it goes to the county account. That is the opposite way. This thing is supposed to go to your county account, then you pay the person that provides you the app service. Nyinyi mnaifanya the other way around. Ndio maana mnaibiwa. Mayutu wa huko wanaweza washanua vile msiibiwe. Hii knowledge tuko nayo. Hii knowledge tuko nayo. Kwa hivyo mkiongea na sisi vizuri, kuna vile tunaweza endelezana. I know my friend really wanted to meet. He has something that he wanted to really share with the Nairobi governor. He was willing to fly from Las Vegas, but we told him he's not coming. Then he decided kama akuja pia. Kwa hivyo they want to engage, and they usually don't know, or they don't come to events such as this. So next time, if there's more time and it's arranged properly, because the proposal that actually went out, it was more elaborate, but we had to tone it down because of time and because of the negativity that also we have been receiving as we are trying to do this. And the other thing is that even here we are still in our small tribal cocoons. Hata huku ukabila pia iko, na ya huku ni saa zingine ya huku inakuaga sana kuliko ya home. Iko, lakini vile mliambiwa, we are picking it from where? From home. Inakuwa governor wa Ititu akikuja ni watu wa Kiambu na mrukia tu. Hata mi first time I've seen a governor from my home area in Siaya, and he has not said anything, so I'm waiting, but I'm going to give him the microphone. Hata mkikataa ndampatia. Lazima aseme kitu. Lazima jamaa aseme kitu. Lazima aseme kitu. Hajaongea. Watu wa Siaya sisi ni watu wa nguvu. Unaona mtu wa Siaya hapa mbele, yes. Tuko represented. Yuko hajasema kitu, atasema kitu baadaye. But that is the things we need to, let us try and see what we can do to be able to communicate with the bigger population of the Kenyan in diaspora. There are many. I don't want to take too much time.
But please give him a round of applause. Thank you. Well, governors, you have heard. We are not communicating. We have to do a reality check, and also the organizers of this meeting, you have also got to do a check, because clearly the way you packaged the thing did not appeal to a certain group within diaspora. So again, this is good, and this is positive criticism. It's not, yes, it's a good feedback for us. Let's see how we do it next time, so that we catch everybody and everybody feels included in whatever it is we are doing. Yes.
Nilikuwa nataka pia niongee kama veteran wa mtaa. Mtu amelelewa kwa ghetto na akaendelea mpaka akakuwa governor. Kitu ya kwanza, is unfortunate. Hatujui kuna watu ambao hawajakuja hapa leo. Sisi vile tuko hapa saa hii, hatujui kuna wengine ambao hawajakuja. In fact, I'm surprised mimi nashindwa. Hii Dallas mimi nasikia kuna watu wengi wako hapi. Leo ni Monday. So kwa hivyo sababu ni kwa nini hawajakuja? Ni chapa. Okay. Sasa kitu ya kwanza, sisi tunawashukuru sana. Mtu ambaye amejaribu mpaka amefika hapa pia, huyo mtu pia amejaribu. That's already from a standard ni success kubwa sana. Na tungetaka nyinyi mkiwa vijana wa mtaa hapa, mkumbuke bado nyinyi ni example ya wale bado wako huko kwa mtaa ambao hawajajitoa pale. Kwa hivyo sasa ile mko hapa, mungekuja tukiwa hapa tuone vile mmefaulu. Ndio tunapeleka habari huko. Tunasema wale walienda wamefaulu sana. Na mimi nataka kukusihisha tafadhali, sisi tukiwa viongozi, ukisikia tulipigiwa kura, ujua sio mchezo kupigiwa kura. Kitu ya kwanza kukonfisi vichwa mingi kama 800 wa kupigia kura. Wewe ndio unaweza fikiria huyu ambaye amechaguliwa sio material, lakini hakuna kitu gumu kama kuambia watu wakufuate na wakakukubali. Kwa hivyo nataka wewe ujue kwa akili yako, kitu ile muhimu sana duniani hii ni saa ile wewe umefaulu, umeruka mpaka pale. Ile njia umetumia na mbinu umetumia, wachana nayo, lakini bora uko pande ile. The determinant of right is success. Kwa hivyo mtu ambaye umeona amefaulu, wewe ndio ambaye hiyo style yake ndio ile ambaye sio yako, lakini hiyo ni style ya mwingine ambaye anamwamini. Mimi nataka nyinyi mjue sisi vile tumekuja hapa, honestly speaking, tumekuja hapa kama tumefurahi sana. It's only that saa ingine media pale na social media kwanza, wewe unajua pale siasa mingi, watu kupakana matope. Kama sisi vile tu unatuona hivi, some of us are new governor. Tumekuwa wajumbe pale, mimi nilianzia na kuwa councillor wake kijiji. Sasa hakuna vile ati tumepituka tumekuwa watu wengine. Ati watu wanasema magavana wanaona kama sisi ati ni watu wengine. Sisi ni normal sana. Only that saa ingine mambo ile imeshapakwa hapo mbele. Wale walianzia magavana, even me na walaumu sana, kwa sababu waliweka viti ya gavana ikaonekana kama ni kamungu kidogo. Wakatuharibia hiyo kiti, ikawa wananchi wanaona gavana wanaona kama ni mtu mbaya na ana makosa. If anything, let me tell you, that is why we defeated them in the elections. Vile walijipaka na makabro wakajifanya mahaihai, wanahisi sana tukaambia sisi tunataka tumoe hiyo mahaihai tulete watu nomo. Kwa hivyo tafadhali, very sincerely, ukikutana na wale ambao hawakukuja, waambie kesho mimi baba yao niko na mkutano yangu, tuongee kijumbani, kujeni huko Masai, tuongee mambo ya kimtaa na mambo ya kiustaarabu na vile mtu anaweza kuwa governor. Niwaelezee hiyo njia yote mpaka ya kuwa mjumbe na kufaulu kuwa mdosi. Asante, shukrani sana. Thank you.
Very good. Ngoja kisiaya please, ngoja kidogo. So you have seen, very good. I think Waititu, Governor Waititu, baba yao amerepresent feelings ya sisi wote hata kama tuwezi kuongea vile ameongea. Can you just let the panelists finish each a remark so that I will give very brief, at least for those who have not spoken. I said the governors or their representative to say one word as we on this same topic as we now open it up to the public. My next speaker, my next guest, the panelist, Stanley Captain. Stanley Captain, tafadhali, really 2 minutes, just the very, very key things that you wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. You know it takes me 2 minutes to warm up and you're just giving me 2 minutes, okay? Yeah, I just want to play a role as an investor. And me being an investor, I want to ask you some questions. We are talking about culture and economic development barriers, and I want to just ask some of these questions. My first observation is to ask you now as Kenyans, what do you do? Or how do you do things? When Governor Gill was here, she talked about some measurements, and I'll use a lot of data here, a little bit of data. And she talked about Kenya ranking number 80 out of 190 in terms of a place to do business, and that was 2018. In 2017, Kenya ranked number 92, and in 2016 it was ranked 126 out of 190. What a wonderful progress. We are moving forward. I'm a student of TQM, Total Management, and continuous improvement. And I look at factors, I look at data, I want to look at things that will make me as an investor and look at me as an investor, and I'm playing that role. Some of the factors that I look at if I want to invest in a country is, I want to know how long does it take to register my company, the time it takes, the permits, the resources, and I know we've talked about electric power, the ability to get credit, the taxes. Is this country, and talking to you as a country, are you overtaxing? I want to look at security. What is the security if I'm going to invest in your country? What human resources do you have in this country that you're asking me to invest millions and billions of dollars and expecting to get a return from what I'm investing? Some of these factors that I looked at as an investor, and I'm playing that role, it takes 61 days to register property, and it goes through 9 steps in Kenya. The average is 6.2. It takes 151 days to approve construction permit if I want to do a permit, and it has to go through 16 steps. An average is, it takes 147 days, and it goes through 14.8 procedures. It takes 25 days to start a business, and the average is 7.6. And the average, actually, the 25 days to start a business, the world average is 7.6. What skills in terms of personnel, and someone has talked about that before, do you as a country have the skills to sustain my company if I invest in Kenya? So these are the things, as we who live here, we keep on approaching the investors, and the investors are really interested in terms of the rate of return, in terms of how do I know that if I invest my money in Kenya, I'll get something out of it back. And I know we talked about corruption, we have touched several things, but on the whole, one of the aspect has been most of the companies here, they want guarantee that if they invest in Kenya, they will be able to return their money here. But we've run into some problems of they wanting the central government to give a guarantee. And in most cases, the central government is not willing to do that. And you here as governors, our question is, how can you negotiate for the central government to be able to guarantee the returns and the investments of these investors who want to invest, and they don't know much about counties, and they are wondering, if I do invest, will I get my money back? So we as people in diaspora, we want to play that role of an investor. And that's why I'm asking those questions of you as governors here, and we talked about that is where the business is in counties. We want to partner. We want to play that role. The Vijanas have their own way of saying it, but here we are ready to talk to you, to negotiate with you, and to work as partners so that we can enhance this bilateral relationship between the people in diaspora and the government of Kenya. Thank you so much.
Thank you. A round of applause, please, for Stanley Captain. And the next is Mweni Muli. Very, very quickly, another millennium. I think she's going to give us another perspective also in 2 minutes, please, Mweni.
I can do that. Good afternoon. My name is Mweni Muli Raburu, and I am here to speak about what I guess as diaspora women, what is it that inhibits, what culturally and economically barriers inhibit us? And the solution is real easy as far as I'm concerned. It's been said over and over again, we as women are your answer. The reason that your issues can't be solved, that your policies and your issues that you're facing can't be solved, is by using women, right? And not for the purpose of putting a checkbox that, yes, we have a woman here, the Constitution requires you to have a woman here. Understand the power that is with a woman. It begins at the very place of the home, right? If the men and culture says the men are who the men are, right? But understand who that woman in your household is, right? Times have changed and things have changed, but give the woman her place, and just issues can be solved. My governor spoke up and said that women are going to carry that water on their backs and on their heads and walk miles, but it will take the men to get into a committee and said, okay, fine, water is needed, right? Let's get together and fix that issue. But that woman has done what needs to be done to solve the problem, right? And before you get yourselves together to figure out, is water really a problem, right? How do we transport this? Understand that there is a power and there is knowledge in being able to use that woman. Let's talk about leadership, right? Again, Charity Ngilu said that the issue that we have is that there's only 3 governors when Nguvu was what her introduction was, right? That's unfortunate, but it's a good starting point that we have. Very, very good starting point, and we commend that, right? So we ask the governors when Nguvu choose us and use us to be able to further your desires and your policies to move forward. We have to show shoulders and elbows to be able to make our ways to the front of the line. Other than doing that, understand what is it that we are able to do for you and just choose us and use us. Women have spoken about that there are people who are doing STEM. We have the knowledge about technology. We are educated. We have the ability, right? But somebody else will recognize what is the power in the woman and use them, right? 20 years later, we're here saying, listen, I'm a woman, I want to come back home, I want to make a difference. But for those 20 years that I've been overseas, somebody else has used that potential on the inside of me, has given me a room at the table, given me a room on the conference room, right? So if you choose not to use us, somebody else will. And let's not waste ourselves for being up here. We talk about that we do not have money, that there's not resources. You've all heard about the circle for the Kenyan women North American. The purpose that these women exist, the sole purpose, and I'll read that because I wrote that down, that we exist because we know as women we have a collective power to save, invest, and build ourselves and our future in Kenya. The beauty about this is that Marianne, who is an accomplished businesswoman, can put her money together with Shosho, who is a babysitter, Shosho, who cooks mandazi and chapati. The two of them coming together is powerful, right? And we have realized that nobody is pulling that, but let us as women do that together. Again, it's not a matter of how educated we are, and we are educated. We do have those opportunities, but that Shosho who is babysitting has that money. And she realizes that if I take that money, put it together with Marianne, who has 10 years of investing and has had her place at the boardroom table, us coming together is powerful. Women are your solution. Give them an opportunity and you will be able to get that, There's also issues with policies and laws. We've done the research. We just opened up getting together as attorneys in the United States, and we're surprised there are almost 30, 40, 50 attorneys that are here. Our governors here are law-educated people. We have your answer. I'm glad that we have this opportunity to get together, bring our governors to hear from us, hear what is that we are able to do, right? But now that we have put names to the faces, that we can shake your hand, realize that you're people just like us. When you come back next time, when you're able next time to bring in the millennials and bring in the young people, we are hopeful that this is the beginning of a long journey to be able to progress and move forward. And understand, look around this room, right? Again, it's a Monday. People are at work, but we have shown up as women. We are able to do it. We have the education. We have the knowledge. We have the willpower on the inside of us. Whether or not you give us the opportunity, we're going to carry that water and we're going to provide for our family and we're going to make it work, right? We are here for you. Please use us. Thank you. Thank you. That's a powerful message, and I hope
the governors here have heard, there is a very serious group here ready to work with us and raring to go. Diana Muhoro, another millennial. Karibu. I hope are you going to take us through? At least she was milder. Tall, of course, really gave it to us as it is. I don't know where you'll be, somewhere in the middle. Okay, Karibu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Diana Muhoro, and I'm going to be representing the young people. I'm also Face of Kenya USA Ambassador. That is why I'm wearing this sash. And I'm here just on behalf of the platform too. And I get to be a voice to the voiceless. I get to be a voice for this generation. So I'm going to be straight to the point. So one thing that I really want to echo, like all my other young people said, we the millennials were very passionate actually about our country. We are very passionate and we are ready to get to work. I want to make that very clear. And the thing is, like, one of the main things that as I was talking to the young people, I was like, what is it that we need? We need proper mentorship. I'm very thankful that I get to have a mentor. I have Wash, who was one of my mentors. I have like other people who are also my mentors. But it's a blessing when as a young people, we have the leaders choose to serve us, choose to invest in us, choose to call us and say, hey, I want to work with you hand in hand. I want to show you how these things work. So we definitely do need proper mentorship because I want to challenge the leaders to think about Kenya long term. Where are we going 5 years from now, 50 years from now, 20 years from now? Who's going to take over that seat that you're sitting on? So we definitely do need proper mentorship here in America and also in Kenya. Our young people need you. Number two, we need to be able to be transparent. We need accountability. We need to be very clear. We're talking about these conversations that it's awesome that we're having them. It's great that we're talking about what needs to be done. But also we need to be very clear and transparent and show the work. Somebody mentioned that the schools are being taken care of back in Kenya, but we don't get to see that. We need to be able to see the work that is being done. It's not to like put it in the wrong way, but it's, you see, as a teacher, because I'm also a teacher, when a parent comes to me and we're having a parent-teacher conference, they want to see the progress. They want to see where we're going. They want to see, okay, my child came to this classroom at this level. Where is he 3 months down the line? We need to be very transparent and accountable about issues that matters to us. And then the other thing is, when it comes to transparent, we need to be very real that as Kenyans, we have our young people going through so many issues. I know somebody said we have Kenyans focusing on alcohol. Sikupenda kwao. Sikupenda kwao, to be honest with you. Sometimes they don't know where else to do. They don't know what else to do. They don't know where else to go. So we have to be transparent. Why is that happening? Why are our young people turning to alcohol? Why are they turning to this? We need to ask ourselves these questions. We need to ask ourselves, why do we have young people committing suicide? Did you know that that is something that is happening in America a lot? Did you know that it's happening back in Kenya, whereby, I believe it's in Nandara in 2017, we had about 250 people commit suicide, and most of them were men. Have we talked about these discussions? What are we doing about it? Number three, create sustainable resources that will help us flourish, not only in America, but also in Kenya. In the room, I do have my fellow millennials. I have Rose in the house, and I also have like Fazia, I have Steve. A few of us came together because we were so tired of not seeing work get done. And we had a very fast millennial meeting, and we just sat down and we were like, oh my goodness, we really need each other. We really need to have like platforms and spaces whereby we can talk about these issues and we can figure out, hey, what's the next step? So for that, we need to create sustainable resources whereby we create funding also for them. We need to have another KMC in Kenya. Why not? You know, we need to have a KMC in every state, whereby the young people, if they're coming to America, they can go to this place and be told, hey, this is the route that you take. If they have like questions about school, if they have questions about finances, if they have questions about building their credit, they know where to go because they have a mentor. So we need to create sustainable resources that will last. One of my last 2 points is, because I'm going to keep it really short, is we need to have unity. I know we talked about this thing about race and all that, but to be honest with you, it is something that is actually dividing so many Kenyans here in the diaspora. I know someone said we're together, but let's just be really honest. We come together when someone dies. We come together when someone has a pre-wedding. We come together when someone has a birthday or like a baby shower, but we don't come together when someone is suffering in silence in their room. So I want to challenge all of us to really think about, what does unity mean? What does coming together mean? What does it mean when we say we are Kenyans here? Am I alone? Do I really knock on my neighbor's door? You know, so I want to challenge all of us Kenyans here in the diaspora that we need to be very transparent and think about, okay, what am I doing right now in so-and-so's life? Am I reaching out? I know I'm using Washo because I really do know her. She's having a hospital, right? Anybody reached out on funding, you know? I get to be part of Face of Kenya, and I'm not the only one, Ambassador. You're going to meet in a few more tonight. Everybody has a platform. I'm working with a project in Kawangware, and my desire is to build them a home and a school. And believe it or not, it's going to happen because I am so determined that it's going to happen. And like, you know, so for me, issues like we get to rescue young children. Like, I'll give you one incident. A child was brought to us because the dad was trying to sell her for sexual trafficking. Why is this happening in 2018? And we're now hearing about these things in the media. So I'm pretty sure they can hear us. We need to talk about these things because we need to tackle them. They're destroying us. They're ruining Kenya because, again, looking on the positive side, Kenya is such a beautiful, rich, strong, diverse, unique country. We are so rich. When people hear that I'm from Kenya because I proudly wave my flag, they're like, I want to go to Kenya. I tell them, yes, go, because we do have the positive side too. But we also have this other side that is causing us to drown. So with that, I just wanted to focus on those few points, and let's work together. Let's really not just talk about it, but when we have this conference next year or the next time, Mr. Ben and everyone else, let's see where we've moved from today. Thank you so much, and my name is Diana Mohara.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Diana. Thank you. Please, another round of applause for Diana and the other youths that have been, you know, that she's representing. Now, I really want to ask the audience to indulge me a little bit, to allow, because there are some people here who came because they saw their governor's name was part of this team, to allow the governors or the representative 1 minute each to just make a comment. And I want to start with Governor Kimemia. It'll really be a minute. Yes, and yes, Governor Kimemia. I don't know whether you speak from that end. Do we have another mic? Or? Yes? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And I'm sorry that I was not able to say anything today because I thought we would listen to our diaspora and then maybe possibly be able to appreciate them. I want to thank you for the thoughts that you've shared with us. I think there are some things that have not been mentioned. I'll just flag out some of them. And I think one of them, I remember in 2013, because I chaired the transition then, and one of the most important things that I saw were diaspora people coming to Kenya during an election year and applying to come back to Kenya, because they thought the economy was doing very well. And I thought that was a very, very presentable issue. And I'm sure we'll continue to support you, those who want to come back to the country, but to have people on an election year, because one of the key challenges in the African continent is that we have unpredictable 5-year cycle systems in our country, that any time you invest your resources, you are not sure that after 5 years when the general elections are held, that you're going to lose your resources. So the issue of predictable and dynamic institutional policy, legal, regulatory frameworks, Madam Chair, I think that's a very, very important issue that we need to emphasize. If we do not do this at county level and at national level, and this can only be led by the governors themselves and by the President of the Republic of Kenya himself at the national level and us at the county, coming up with very predictable policies that you know that if you invest in Kenya, policies will not change midstream, and then you lose your resources, halfway, or you came to invest in a hospital, then things change midstream, and then you are lost. Then issue of strong institutions. I think the reason why this country is very strong is very, very strong institutions. I think this is something that we're also very keen as governors to build very, very strong institutions, very competitive governments. I think there is no question about it. We not only have a competitive private sector, but governments must also be very competitive. We must compete within ourselves, with the other governments. It's not only Kenya that is asking for resources. So the issue of coming up with very competitive county governments, smart governments, intelligence governments, preparing the indices of competitiveness, and very, very important, Madam Chair, the issue of the quality of government. These are things that are now emerging. That what is the quality of the government, say of Nyandarua County? I think this is what investors will be looking at. If I want to invest my hospital or my willpower in Kinangop, what is the quality of that government? Are they fighting every day? Are they investing? Are they investor friendly? What is their manifesto? What is the CIDPs? I'm sorry that we didn't come with many copies of our CIDPs, but you can share them on the platforms. I thought we would also be able, maybe you apologize as, on behalf of the COG, we should have prepared maybe brochures, be able to come up with a manual and tell you, if you want to come to Nyandarua, you should invest in wheat power, you can invest in sugar potatoes, invest in sugar beets, invest in a university, in hospitals. We have dams that we are putting up. We have resources we are doing. I mean, the mapping of resources, that also needs to be done so that you people know what are the resources that we have and where can you. Any government that is not doing this, if you're not branding, if you're not into PR, into customer care, governments have changed the way they do things. You have to do a very, very competitive government that is able to compete. And of course, working within what you call the whole of government approach, that if you come to the county of Nyandarua, there is one single shop, one-stop shop where the diaspora, and of course nobody has talked about affirmative action on the diaspora. In other countries, you have affirmative action. If a Chinese who is in Kenya wants to go back to China and invest, or an American, I can assure they get certain privileges. So we have to come up with an affirmative action for our diaspora so that they're able to, when they come to our places, we're able to support them. Then, of course, coming up with a database. We need to have a database. Who are you? We don't know. If when I go back, who do I call? For energy, who do I call? We need to have a database. Even share a newsletter. Maybe once in a while, we exchange within platforms and we're able to know what am I doing in Nyandarua, what is Babayo doing in Kiambu, what is Nanok doing in Turkana, what is my friend, my professor here who taught me doing in Kisumu. Then we're able to, you can then come in. And of course, anybody is welcome to Nyandarua, irrespective of your ethnicity or where you come from. We would like to open up our counties for Kenyans to come and invest. For very, very, very friendly people. I think Kenyans are very friendly generally. We don't have to have that. I know we have dishonest people. We have dealt with issues of people, trying to steal from you. When you invest, you are sent pictures that your house is being put up, but actually it's somebody else's house which is being sent to you. I dealt with them in cases when I was in charge of security. But now we are there. You can call me and tell me, I'm putting up a house in Lorie. Can you please check for me, Governor? Kuna nyumba kama hiyo. And then we also facilitate planning, the approvals within the counties. These are things that we're also doing as governors to support you. So that you don't spend out of time. I know even in terms of getting this dual citizenship, somebody was complaining to me that she spent almost 2 weeks chasing, this dual citizenship in the Nyao house. I know Ambassador is here. I think these are things we need to simplify. If you come maybe for 2 weeks, you should be able to spend only 1 or 2 days, getting that dual. These are things we'd like to take back to our country and see how. I've talked about the database, the newsletter, the issue of you becoming our brokers, positive brokers for investments. We are liaising with some of the county governors here some of the state governors here on potato processing, on bamboo processing, on the sugar beets, on other things, milk processing. We have already engaged in some of the governors here, but we like a diaspora person to be the front runner, because these people understand you. They understand you, and you also understand them. So if you come with them to the county, and you come to Nyandarua with them, I think it will be easier for us to interact. I want to not to say much. I want to say there is a problem between the disconnect between industry, between governments, between what you may call the universities that we have, the research and development. These ideas that we are very weak, and I know you are very strong here. The research and development, which Governor Nanok talked about, these are ideas that we want you to help us to. We are putting up a university. Some of you may want to come and partner with us, putting up university. And of course, lastly, we cannot progress unless we also look at the social dimensions. Some of you may want to adopt maybe a widow, not marrying, but adopting to support, adopt an orphan, adopt maybe a borehole that you want to change in the school you went to, a health center, a school. One of the persons here, I won't mention him, told me he's going to get a transformer to the village, because his home is dark. You know, about 80% of Nyandarua is dark. And he said, once I give him a transformer, he's going to put up a health center. And I told him, you can be sure when I go back, that is the first thing I'm going to do. Because I'm buying transformers for my county. Because my county is 90% dark. So I have to at least support the energization of that county. I want to thank you very much, Madam Chairman. We have also PWDs in the county. We have HIV victims. We have very, very many orphans in the county. The other day I talked about young people committing suicide. These are things that we also need to people, the villages you come from. Just make sure you support one in the case, and God will bless you as you move on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kimemia. You know, Francis Kimemia was the face of security in Kenya for a very long time, so you should be sure he brings a wealth of experience into the gubernatorial position, not only in Nyandarua, but also for the Council of Governors. I have 3 deputy governors or representatives of these 3 counties. Please, I said 1 minute each. We start with Siaya, because your own tall had said he wants to hear your voice. And what is it that you can tell the people of Siaya from this point?
Thank you very much. I'm basically here because of Charles Olive. Charles Olive has mentioned very well that he's from our county. So which means I'm not from Nairobi. So I'm from Siaya County. Now one thing that I wanted to put here very clearly, because it's our brother and we just met here, is that just like what Governor Kimemia has just mentioned, it's about enforcement of the law. You will realize that we've got infrastructure in Kenya, but sometimes we miss is the infrastructure. So the infrastructure that the enforcement that we might be missing is what is the reason why we are here. We've got Hussein there, Ambassador Hussein. We also have Governor No, who is also our chairman. So wherever there is missing link, we'll be going to them and talking to them. You talked about technology in terms of maybe how you can assist us in the revenue collection, for example. But I want to tell you clearly that it is something that we know. We have tried to talk about it, and we still have a big challenge. And we want to give you a challenge here that today, the one big challenge that we want you to go and do, because we want to welcome you back home, come back to Siaya, is that we want marketing in technology. Because the marketing that we're talking about with this technology, that we already have and we know, is not an issue just collecting money, but it's an issue whereby if say we approach border, how are you going to entice them? How are you going to convince them, these border riders, to be able to contribute that rent? That of course you go technology, you can even approach the banks today, they'll collect the money, but how will they be able to produce that money? Because number one, we know they'll run away. So we need a better way of going to them and market ourselves to them. This is something that we really need to do, and it is urgent. So we are challenging you that come back home and help us how we can be able to deal with this calamity of ours, so that we can increase our revenue collection.
Okay.
The item is about...
now I'm already up and standing, so you really have to 1 minute, or you are done. Can you give it in less than a minute, please?
Another thing was about the nurses who spoke here. I wanted to thank you very much. Remember in Sierra we had some missionaries from America who came for these eye care issues, people who have ear problems and dental issues. I know you people are so much privileged in terms of the causes of diseases, such as biological, chemical, psychosocial, and social issues. But we're very happy that you've really developed a niche, and we're really requesting you to also join us in Sierra and look at this other side, apart from this other area that you've really tackled very well in terms of coming up with clinics, and you actually focus very much on the girl child to a point whereby you know that if you do not have the sanitary towels, this can actually reduce their disease. So I think if you can come with very happy. Then the last one is about the zoonotic diseases, which we know it also requires sensitization. It is something that we know that the facilities, the medical facilities are actually very much available, but the problem is sensitization because of the culture that we have at home, that 90% of the population at home who keep domestic animals such as dogs, donkeys, and cats, that normally bite us sometimes at home. They are not aware of what is happening. They don't want to take their dogs and donkeys and domestic animals to the veterinary clinic. So this is also one thing that we are requesting you to do. I'm not a medical doctor, but at least these are kind of things that we see.
Thank you, Deputy Governor. Thank you very much, Deputy Governor Siaya. I want to call Deputy Governor Kirinyaga. Please be a bit economical with words, better than your colleague from Siaya, if you can.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, people in diaspora. My name is Kenya Diaspora, the most popular Deputy Governor in Kenya. Governor is a woman. Her name is Anne Mobiwai, and I'm here to represent her. First of all, receive her greetings. Do you? I would want to say just one or two things. I don't want to take much time, Madam Chair. One is that we are here to encourage you to come back home. I want to say, I talk on behalf of Kenya about this. One of the things that we've done, guided by my governor, Anne Mobiwai, was to produce a session of paper that has not been done by any other county. We have a session of paper which is called Mountain Cities Blueprint 2032 roadmap on how Kenya will be. And we have mapped up our county into 3 areas, actually to 4. Every sub-county or constituency has been made a city. And we are borrowing from what we are seeing from you here. In Moya, we have given it a name that is known as the Green City within Kenya. In Kenya Central, we've already given it a name as the Wellness City, because that's where we have our big hospitals. In Geshovu, where the governor comes from, we've given it as a resort city. And in Bia, it is an organic city. Why are we saying so? It's because we want all our produce. Kenya being an agri-based economy, we depend much on agriculture. And we are coming up with an industrial park in Salama that is going to cost about 5 billion Kenya shillings. As we talk to you, we know you are the people who can bring this investment in Kenya. You are the people who can come and help us build the industries that we want. And somebody talked here about innovation, about research, and about what we can achieve when we come together. I want to tell you that the people with the brains, you came here and left our country. If we are going to help our youth, we will not be able to come here like you. Remember, you need to bring this knowledge to us. We shall provide the environment, we shall do the infrastructure, and allow you to bring this brain that you may teach more people who will not be able to come here. And that is why we are here to market and assure you that your investments are going to be well and in order. In Kenya, having laid the infrastructure in terms of planning, all we need is labor force from specialists, from knowledgeable people, from people who can come and be counted to help us now take a step further of implementing what we have. So the assurance is not to sign a guarantee with the government, It's for you to come, be tough. We give you the facilities that you're going to work in, and then you shall be able to recoup your investment. I don't want to talk much because of time, but what I want to assure you is that if it comes to coffee, if it comes to tea and rice, and even horticultural produce, all of this will be able to find and do industries in Kenya and bring those goods here, including Kariuki, who comes from Kenya. You see there's a problem in marketing coffee. I'll be able to take that up, and I'm sure together we shall be able to get that.
Okay. Kirinyaga rising. Very good. I think you have done a good job marketing Kirinyaga. Now we have the governor for Laikipia, who is also the chair. Yeah, the deputy governor, Laikipia, who is the chair of deputy governors, is it? Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's a little bit better. This is better. Thank you very much. I think I've enjoyed my stay here, and I'm just surprised that most of us have an idea of what we want to do. Maybe I just change the discourse a little bit, and I mention how I want you to do it. You see, one of the things that the counties are suffering from today is infrastructure development. And the funding we get as county allocation is not enough. My thinking is that it's high time we engage the gear from buying plots to infrastructure development. Pull our resources together, put them in an investment vehicle, go in and put in development of infrastructure in counties, and get a return for investment. You can actually live on that interest income. And it's been done before, we do it for all other high-end investors. There is no reason why we as Kenyans cannot do it. And I'm talking about putting money together and in municipality bonds. Just the other day, every county at a minimum has 3 municipalities that have been created, courtesy of the World Bank on the urban support program. Now, these municipalities were going to raise bonds in the market, looking for funds to develop the urban centers. That's your entry level. It's one of the best. It has started. Please do join in. And another thing I want to mention is about the power of women that was mentioned here, the chairmas that you have. That should show who doesn't understand that high-level economics. Grab them, pull them together, put them in circles, come and invest in our counties. And one of the areas that is going to give you a high return is actually universal health care. Because literally every county must develop in terms of medical services delivery. The facilities have to be improved, have to be upgraded. Now, the upgrading of these facilities requires economics, requires money. You have the resources. I think for me, that is a take home that is very important. We are willing to engage. We are ready and able. I did hear a comment about liaison officers for diaspora in most of the counties. And I want to ask the governors who are present, please, why don't you domicile this liaison office in the deputy governor's office? And they can give you a very good job, because then they will be able to actually speak and pronounce about the county's policy and intentions. I know that would be a very good thing to do. Let me stop there. If you want more, you can always engage at dinner time, isn't it? Yes. Thank you.
Very good. I think very good. Thank you, Laikipia. It would be wrong if the 2 senators have spoken, have been in panels. The only senator that has not spoken and whose voice you've not heard. Is it? Yes. Senator Laikipia from the same county. Yes. Say one word.
Habari ya jioni. Habari ya jioni tena. Kwangu mimi siku ya leo, kwa majina naitwa John Kenywa. Nimetoka Laikipia, mimi ndio senator wa Laikipia. Lakini nilipokuja hapa na nimeketi hapa kusikiza, mimi kwangu nimeona uoga mwingi kwenu machoni. Kila mtu aliyesimama hapa kuongea alikuwa akisema nyinyi wacheni wakikie kitu kimoja. Hawa magavana mnaona hapa, mkija nyumbani hamtawaona. Kwa nini nasema hivyo? Kwa sababu hawa wa magavana wana kazi kubwa. Ukweli wa mambo ni ya kwamba ukienda kwake utapata raini kubwa ya watu ambao wanataka kumuona. Na wacha niwaambie ukweli, kwa sababu huo ndio ukweli wa mambo. Nyinyi wenyewe mkija pale kumuona, wewe unakuja na kizungu mingi vile huyu mngwana alisema. Naye mama mboga yule amekuja pale, amekuja na shida yake, anataka kumuona governor. Alafu governor ataangalia ni nani atakayepiga kura. Nyinyi mnasema, mnauliza mambo kama mnataka muandikishe kupiga kura, na yule mama mboga tayari ako na kura. Unafikiri governor ataangalia nani? Mama mboga. Kwa hivyo ukweli wa mambo usemwe, na haitakuwa makosa yake kwa huyu governor kukosa kukuona. Itakuwa ataangalia mambo mawili. Ni nini nasema jamani, nyinyi mkiwa hapa, ikiwa haujui ya kwamba unajenga nyumba nyumbani, unasema ya kwamba ati umekuwa ukidanganywa, hata governor mwenyewe haumjui, basi haumjui kiongozi wa pale, haumjui jirani yako. Kwa hivyo unaangalia katika social media, mtu anakuambia anakujengea nyumba na wewe unakubali. Kwa hivyo inamaanisha wewe ni hata hujakuwa nyumbani kwa muda mrefu. Kwa hivyo it's true. Let us be honest with ourselves, and let us not be afraid of talking the truth. What am I saying? It is not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. Hiyo ndio inamaanisha. Sasa it is about us to be very honest with each other. Nimekaa hapa nasikia mtu akisema ya kwamba sisi akina mama, napenda kumsikiza sana ngine anasemaga, usiseme mama governor, sema governor. She's governor like any other person. So when you people talk about, in fact, I'll be very, mimi nikisikia haya maneno, I'll be very afraid to talk tonight if my daughter keeps on talking atakiwa na sister yake, akiwa na ndugu yake pale anaonekana akiogopa. The other issue that you have hapa, na nyinyi hamtaki kutuambia, nilipokuwa Santa Fe kutoka juzi nimekuwa nikisikiza, shida iliyoko kubwa hapa ni madawa ya kulevya pamoja na pombe hapa kwenu. Kwa hivyo nyinyi wenyewe mnaendelea kukufa. Kwa hivyo mkisema sisi huko nyumbani vijana wetu wanakunywa pombe, wanafanya hivyo, Waswahili wanasema mgaga na upwa hali wali mkavu. Kwa sababu nyinyi tukiwasikiza hapa mnatuambia vile tunapaswa kufanya nyumbani, na nyinyi wenyewe hamfanyi. Uwezi ukamtoa mtu mwenzako changarawe katika jicho lake na wewe uko na kigogo katika jicho lako. You cannot tell our people, the young people, every time you're here talking about the young people, but you here, we have, my senator was talking with me, she has lost 3 cousins hapa vijana wadogo, kama si madawa ya kulevya. In fact, with governors, the governors meeting, they will agree with me. We are suffering, we have addiction here. At least at home there, the issues we are having is addiction of something called hypno, pethidine, hapa ni heroin, ati opioid lakini una control pain. Na madawa mengi. Jamani, tuambiane ukweli. Usimdharau. Watu wajui Kiswahili. Waswahili nasema kwa sababu msamdharau mkunga ilhali uzazi ungalipo. Sisi wa Kenya jamani, mmekuja hapa mnatuona sisi ni hohehahe, lakini tuko gangari, tuko chonjo na tuko bambe. Asante sana.
I think he has done extremely well. Now, Honorable Waititu, you have spoken before. I don't know. I wanted you to give the vote of thanks, honestly. Honestly, you are, please.
At least I wanted to talk about something that my friend here has just touched a bit. I know most of you who are in Kenya last year, you left a drinking nation. You left a drinking nation. Mliwacha watu wetu ni walevi, vijana mliwacha sobis pale. I wanted to inform you that we are doing something. And you might be very, very, very surprised ya kwamba in Central Kenya now, unaweza tembea the whole day, ujaona mlevi hata moja. We have taken up that challenge as governors to fight illicit and second generation alcohol. And in Kiambu in particular, ambaye ilikuwa the biggest market of those type of alcohol, sahi hakuna bar inauzwa pombe mchana, ni kutoka saa 11 mpaka saa 5 usiku. Na mimi naweza kuambia hivi, Hiyo tulianza, imetamba to all our counties. Hata ukienda Nyandarua saa hii vita ni mingi ya pombe. Bar ambayo in Kiambu we had over 4,000 bars. Right now they have reduced to less than 300 in the whole county of Kiambu. Yes, yes. And I can authoritatively tell you that by the end of this year, Kiambu will only have about 1 bar in each of the wards. Kwa hivyo in Kiambu in total tutakuwa na bar 60 in the whole of the whole sub-county. We have outrolled all the wines and spirit shops. Na mimi naweza kuambia very surprisingly, wale vijana walikuwa wanapata kila pahali kwa barabara, all of them have gone back to their farms to work. I've employed 5,500 of them. I spend over 2 million every day to keep them busy. They are working everywhere, opening trenches and clearing bushes. And in that process, we are rehabilitating them by paying them 400 shillings a day. From August, we are starting another about 45 polytechnics. All of them will be engaged in our polytechnics so that we can give them some courses in masonry, plumbing, electrical technicians, mechanics, welding, carpentry, dressmaking. Na mnajua kabisa in our areas, mtu akitaka fundi ulikuwa unaenda kutafuta nje. We want to make sure that by the end of this year, hiyo kazi kidogo kidogo vijana wetu watakuwa nayo. The only contribution you can give us now, wewe ile kijiji umetoka, saidia hiyo polytechnic, hiyo vijana kwenu hiyo hana kozi hata moja. Make sure at least you do something. Kama wewe unatoka kwa county zetu za Mount Kenya region. Otherwise, we also have a big problem. Mama Giro said it here. The Chinese, yes, are investors, but what they have done, they are killing our industries. Wanaleta kila kitu. All our juakari industries are dying. Wanaleta very cheap things but very, very poor quality. Alafu sasa, ile juakari yetu ilikuwa inaendelea mzuri, inaanza kukufa. What we want to do very soon is to throw some of those products from these people, so that our juakali industries can come up. Isn't it?
Thank you.
Kwa hivyo sasa, honestly, we are doing something that is governance, na hiyo attitude mko nayo ati magavana. Hiyo tafadhali muache. Tunafanya kazi mzuri. We are doing something. Only that we have only been there for 10 months. Asante sana. Thank you so much.
I can see now everybody is wameshika moto. Kila mtu anataka sasa. I'm telling you, if you hear the stories, the good practices that are going on in the counties, I'm sure we'll be there here until tomorrow. But I can assure you, each of these counties will be able to give you a story of what has happened, what has changed from the time devolution, took off. So devolution is working. Be very sure that devolution is working. It has its challenges, yes, we are not denying that, and those challenges are going to be there for some time, but remember what somebody said, I think it was our ambassador here, don't start comparing 6 years with 200 years. Begin there first, and then secondly, that we have come from that system only very recently, from a centralized system. We still have hangovers of having that centralized system, but we are addressing our issues. Slowly but surely, you are going to see changes. I want to give our moderator before I give our moderator, I want to give you a chance. Really, let us try to be brief. I think people have spoken and spoken, but really, maybe just 3 people, if you don't mind. And really, those who have not spoken today, to ask or make a comment or make a complimentary if you need to or ask a question. Then I will just end with the panel just saying one word. I see a hand at the back there, the gentleman at the back. Wow. I'd love to be 5. The Mocorino, the only Mocorino in America. Yes. And then Dr. Waigwa also. That's 3. Let's get some 2 ladies. I see a lady with a green, or is it turquoise? And another one. Yeah. There's a young lady there. We have had quite a number of young ladies. Okay, which one? The one in green I've already said, the green and pink, and then the lady who has stood up. She's courageous enough to have stood up, so we'll allow her. Well, let's see if you are very, very brief, then maybe we can add another one. Please try and make it short. Yes. Do we?
Yeah, number 1 is here.
But you are not here, Deputy Governor. Where were you? Are outside? Just a minute. We'll give the vote of thanks. Let's.
Okay. Hi. My name is Miano. I'm a lawyer practicing here in the US. I'm also licensed to practice law in Kenya. And I've represented several diaspora organizations and foreign investors investigate Kenya. And one of the issues that has come up is the way the law is. And a case in point is, for instance, SACCOs. It's very popular to have SACCOs here in the US because we know that they are regulated in Kenya by SASRA and also the Commission of Cooperatives. But unfortunately, the way the law is right now, it says that SACCOs cannot invest in certain products, something like land. So we call upon the Member of Parliament who is here to file a bill or to move a bill in Parliament so that they amend that particular provision of the law. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask was the question of treaties. Now, Kenya has a very high tax rate of 30%.
Yeah, just a minute. You're asking a question. Is it to a specific person or the panel or just general?
That's a general comment I was making.
That's a comment, yeah.
And I'm actually asking the Member of Parliament who is here to move a bill in Parliament so that
the Senate. That for counties, if it's issues on counties or land, that is for the Senate.
Yeah, it's for the Senate, but we know that the national government and the county government work together through, as provided by the Intergovernmental Relations Act. And so even if it's a matter of the national government, if people want to invest in the counties, they can't invest if they have SACCOs as their investment vehicle. Okay. Now, the other issue I wanted to talk about the diaspora is the treaties. Kenya, we don't have a double tax treaty between Kenya and the US, and so the tax rate for the diasporas, if you look at the effective tax rate for the diasporas, if they are to invest in Kenya, is going to be very high. So let the ambassador negotiate a double tax treaty between Kenya and the US. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the right to vote. The Constitution provides for the progressive realization of the right to vote by the diaspora. But that Constitution, we still call it a new Constitution, but it was passed 8 years ago. It's not new anymore. We had elections in 2012, the diaspora never participated. We had elections last year, the diaspora never participated. And we are not even sure that they're going to participate in 2022. So we cannot convert the diaspora to be investment machineries without the right to political participation. So let the diaspora be involved in the political process in Kenya.
Who was next?
Next.
Okay, next I think was Mocorino.
Huyu Mocorino ataongea kweli? Siama anatufundisha kanisa. Pastor.
Chief.
Kwanza ni Mocorino alafu kwa hiyo ataongea. Let me
Please don't distract him, he's speaking.
Yes. Now, Madam Chairman, I just wanted to say something about that was mentioned here, and then I'll ask my question. If I don't say this, my conscience will bother me. It was alluded to that we talk negatively about our nation. A few years ago, Professor Obule Onudiwe wrote a book for us called Afro-Optimism. I would like to recommend that to every one of you, because we need to be Afro-optimistic. I get sick and tired of hearing homies like this, nyumbani ni kama hivi, and everybody's talking negatively about our country. That is Solomon Waigwa Mocorino, And now let the professor ask his question. We have success to us. And one speaker said that we've done better, we've beaten the whole world in doing that, and I really applaud that. But there is a white elephant in that process. The white elephant is, did we really need 47 counties? Self-governance has proven to be a very expensive endeavor, Madam Chairman, for Kenyans. The government pay bill is now a wage dilemma. It has continued to skyrocket each year. Efforts by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission has not been able to contain that runaway problem. Government wage bill has now ballooned to the point of suffocating and stifling national and local development. My question is, what is the Council of Governors doing to arrest this problem?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe we'll leave that to a response to the Chair, Council of Governors, and maybe a word from the government representative, Ambassador. Okay? Okay. Good. The next one was a...
Next, there's a lady right here.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll be brief. Thank you so much, Honorable, and all the governors, Karibuni Sana Dallas. And so my first question was already asked by the gentleman right there. Thank you for asking. I want to be able to vote while I'm here. I want to be able to know that I can effect by the power of the ballot box. Nataka kujua kwamba nikiweka pesa yangu Kenya, hata niko na njia kwamba nitaweza kusema na wewe utatoka na mwingine ataingia. Kwa hivyo please, we want you to work that for us so that we can be able to participate, sio na mfuko peke yake, lakini pia tuweze kuparticipate kwa ballot box, because that's where the voice is. Secondly, we just want to ask you, governors, a good job you have just begun, even as Governor Honorable Babayao was saying, that we should just have the attitude of knowing you have just begun. The other Senate really chapered us kiboko, that we have an attitude. I want you to understand that we came from a third world to a first world. So even you have to just consider that we moved and catapult ourselves to the place when we say President Kenyatta. So when we come home, we want you also to adjust your attitude kwa sababu tulikuja majuu. So just bear with us, okay? So that we can work together. All right. Thirdly, and I give you the microphone, by the way, the names are Millicent Adiambo Yangon. Congratulations, my governor of Kisumu, Anyang Nyong'o. You have done great, okay? Now I want to say one thing. Asante, erokamano. So now what I want to say is this. Our governors, our senators, our people, don't fight. Because when you fight, that we call it crap. Hiyo mambo inatoka kule nyumbani inatuingia hapa. Na hapa ndio majuu. Sasa mkitaka pesa iteremke kutoka hapa kuja huko chini, na nyinyi mkae mkifight decently, because you gotta fight a little, lakini msiraruane, kwa sababu mkiraruana mnakuja hapa mnakuta tuko wounded. Hata hapa tunacheka tu sasa tu vile tu tunajifanya sasa ndio tunacheka tunajishika, lakini mkitaka pesa itoke hapa kule mpigane kama wanasiasa, kwa sababu lazima mfanye hivyo, lakini msiraruane. Ndio sisi tukue sasa. Sivyo wapendwa? Ndivyo. Na mbarikiwe.
Good message.
Na handshake inafanya kazi kweli.
Habari zenu. Majina ni Monica Haemba. So I just have to request to our beloved officials and the government of Kenya. So one, I really thank the Honorable Stephen that you're doing a great job to incorporate the youth. So my request is in the county health. Is there a possibility that you can create a department for reproductive health for the youth? Because what's happening with our youth, like even in high school, my former primary school, but the high school for that Harambe school, around 18 girls dropped out of school from 4 girls because they were pregnant. So if a county can come up with a reproductive health department specifically to capture these young people in high school so that they are educated and they are able to reach comfortably to the department, instead we shy away from talking about our reproduction to our parents. So if the county can create that, we'll appreciate that. And then the technical skills. The problem, it's not really a problem, but we tend to go to a degree in anthropology because that's what they say, that you must have a degree to get this job. Is there a way you can advertise jobs saying, so long as you have a skill in this, we'll give you that job? Then we will actually drop to that level and exercise our knowledge that we have.
Okay.
Yes.
Was that the last?
No, this is the last one right here.
Okay.
Everybody's been asking, is this a Kenyan? Yes, she's a Kenyan.
Thank you.
Hata Kiswahili unaweza ongea.
Hamjambo. Kwa majina naitwa Fozia Mohamed. Leo nimetoka Oregon and Kenyan by birth. I came to school here. For the past 3 years, I've been going back and forth. I do voluntary work with Kenyatta National Hospital, and I want to encourage all the young millennials who are here in the diaspora. You don't need to wait for someone to create a platform for you. Your individual contribution should give you a greater vision. So I've done that. I'm taking a sabbatical leave this October for 6 months to work on myself and give back what I can. So mine is a request. If you're an elected governor, I would like you to stand up and pledge that you'll help us, the people of the diaspora, if we come and ask for your help. I have gone to several offices of governors. I've been put on a list all I was going to call back. Maybe it's my attitude. I don't know. But I'm glad to learn that. But I would kindly request, because I am organizing a mission trip that will provide dental services. I haven't selected a county yet. I'm from Nairobi County, but I'm willing to go to any county that's going to be willing to work with me, help the providers who will come from the US get their licenses. So mine is, if you're not an elected governor, please stand up if you want to work with me.
Come to Bomet, start there.
Thank you.
I can see the governors are fighting for this opportunity. Hey, this is so nice. This is the last one.
Now, okay. But there's somebody who's already standing up. But this, okay, you are the very last one. Please, members. Otherwise, you will not, we still have a little bit of a program to go before we end the day.
Thank you, thank you. I will be very brief. First of all, we appreciate all your leaders for coming here to meet us, the diasporans. We are very grateful because now we feel like we have a touch from people from home. We people in the diaspora do undergo some big difficulties, even if we are investing back home. First of all, I will mention something that the ambassador mentioned there, Mr. Gedai. I know he's heard a lot about our issues, and he mentioned a little bit about the infrastructure in Kenya. There are new roads, we can see that. But these streets are not named. We go and drive there, you get lost. We don't know the exits. That's something that he mentioned, and I concur with that. Now, as we invest back home, we are taking healthcare to our people who are there. NHIF have been mentioned. So my concern is, first of all, if somebody is very sick and gets to hospital, they will be expected to have cash before they are admitted. This is a very touching issue, and you're wondering that somebody maybe died when getting admitted because they did not have money. As much as we know in the US, the law is that someone has to be treated first. So we would just like this thing to be a little amended. The other thing is taking care of our senior citizen, the senior citizen and the disabled. We know that here, this category of people are very much protected. Like the disabled, we see the disabled parking here close to the entrance for every entrance of business premises or facilities. We see lamps where if you can't use stairs, they are wheelchair lamps. But back home there, those things are not taken care of. The other thing is, I'm in real estate here in the US. Some of the things that have been said here, they are saying it's easy. But what we go through back there is very hard. So for instance, the issues of titles, it's very technical for you to get a title, even though these things are being rectified there. It's very hard. And if you compare the US, what happens is the processing a title is privatized. Title companies take care of titles. Title, you don't have to go to a government office. So this makes things very easy because these title companies work through lawyers and they are the one to blame if there is any issue that or problem with title. So that's all I'll say for now. Thank you.
Okay, and I think the gentleman who stood up,
yes,
the very last one.
Yes. Thank you, Governor Laboso and the leaders and all our executive leaders from Kenya. My name is Jesse Maringa. My parents are from Kirinyaga County, so I'm considered to be from there. And I'm glad to be here. I'm in the construction industry, and I've been in discussions with my deputy governor, who is here with us today. And some of the challenges we face is how do we bring our investment ideas to Kenya to change our country? I just came from Kenya and a few weeks ago, and I found some of the old issues that bothered us a few months ago, a few years ago, still exist, including insecurity in the country, also including the fact that we don't have any power to vote. So when we invest in Kenya, we almost like throwing our rubies, our diamonds, and our pearls to the pigs and hope that they will survive. But if there was security in Kenya, if we had the power to vote, where we know our voice in America is being heard in Kenya and is making change in Kenya, then we in the diaspora are empowered to continue to invest back home. That's the cry of Americans, Kenyans in America and abroad. Give us the power to vote. Also, the next thing is our leaders fighting each other. Like Dr. Nyangon just said a while ago, we are like your children. We watch you and we learn from you. If you guys are fighting each other because of political reasons, which we in America find to be petty, why do we have to follow you? We cannot follow a blind leader. We follow a leader who's going somewhere. So if you show us an example that you can get over your differences, agree to disagree, and then lead us as our leaders and let us follow you, then it is a little easier to follow, seeing direction. And now to my main question. As a construction industry expert, this is my question. In respect to the Big Four agenda in Kenya, how would the government of Kenya assist Kenyan, US, and abroad-based investors to come and invest in Kenya, introducing energy-based, affordable housing that's much cheaper? Let me give you an example. I drove through Runda with my friend who is a businessman, and I noticed almost every home in Runda has DECRA roofing. DECRA is metal, concrete, and asphalt. It's very expensive. In the US, it's about 6 times more expensive than the basic shingles that we apply. Would the government of Kenya allow us to come and introduce the concept in Kenya, save the cost of building homes, get a bunch of people off the streets into affordable homes that are energy efficient, that can actually hold heat better in the cold seasons and hold cold better in the heat seasons, make them livable? Can you support us with the idea and help us bring it to America?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Now, there's one young lady who is desperate to say one word. Allow her.
Governor, yes. You must be so nice, eh?
No, because she's a lady.
Oh, okay, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. My hand was so up for so long. Again, my name is Washo, California, one of the board members of Kenya North America Diaspora Circle. So here's my question, and actually I came in with so many questions. This was amongst my number one. And I wanted to engage especially governors, is he a senator? Sonko? I really wanted to engage him because I follow him on social media. And there's a time he posted that he was going to bury to a funeral of like a 4th child who had choked, died from choking. Okay, so here's my question. CPR. Okay, CPR. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. That's the, let me not use those complicated words. We need to find a way. kule mashinani ambapo tutaweza kufunza watu wetu vile wanaweza kufanya CPR. I do not know how we should go about it, but I want you to know that we really need this. We need it. Even choking, you can save a baby from choking a child, an adult, in just 2 minutes. We should not be burying, our children or anybody because of these preventable illnesses or like choking, something that can be prevented but we know we can prevent them, Yeah, so I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm trying to speak very, very fast, but I think you understood what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Thank you. Some of the things we are saying, we can partner together. Maybe we get overwhelmed, and there are some basic things that maybe when you are on holiday, you can start. It all starts with one step. That home, that area, you can volunteer to go and train. In fact, that's a thing that what we are talking about, this diaspora office. Maybe that's one of the areas we should say in each county, have somebody who you can report to when you are home on your holiday, and you can volunteer and say, what is it that I can do? The nurses can say, I can train some of the nurses, on better health, management or customer care. Somebody else can say, I am an expert in building. Maybe let's go to your department of roads and or of construction, and sit there with them and see how they can do things better. I'm just thinking of the CAF, but I think that's the kind of partnership where we are really talking real things, not just, things which are in the air, because all of you belong somewhere, belong to some county. And when you come home on holiday, those who are able to come home, you can still volunteer a day, an hour, a month, 2 days. And just do something, that when you come back, you say, I have left a mark, I have done something for my dear country. Now, I want to allow the panelists, please, to each say a word. And it is your final word. One could be response to what has been said, or just your final words as we close this panel. Shall we start with Tall on that end? Please, you.
Mimi sina mengi. Gavana wa mtaa alinijibu. Bado tutajadiliana naye baadaye. Pia kuna deputy governor aliamka akaongea Kiswahili. Naona wewe ni bingwa wa lugha, hata mimi ni bingwa wa lugha. Ni senator, tukienda sehemu hiyo nafikiri tutaelewana vizuri. Kitu ningependa kusema ni na tarajia tutaendelea kuwa na mikutano kama hizi na za zaidi. Hii proposal ilipoletwa kwenyu, ama Alex alipokuja nao, chairman wetu alipokuja nao Kenya, the proposal I had was a bit more comprehensive than this, but it was reduced to a sitting conference. So I hope that if we present another proposal and it goes to probably the COG, CZU hizo nilitoka Kenya kabla devolution ikuje. Kwa hivyo hata devolution bado numpia. So I hope if we present a new proposal to COG on how we can do an event that can engage more people, the way you are receptive to this, I hope you'll also be receptive to that new proposal, so that we can have a more engaging session, because like you see, there's not enough time for the back and forth, and like His Excellency from Nyandarua said, the counties need to market themselves more. I have an idea of how we can do this, so I will present I already have the proposal written down and everything, so I will give it to a couple of the governors. If I get your email, I can email it to you. Then you can look at it. It's something that might interest you, a way of you coming to tell us the opportunities that are there in a more informal setting, where we are outside then. Probably you have your own stand and you have your people that are explaining to people the opportunities available in your counties. But I would like to just express my appreciation to all of you for coming and for taking the opportunity to be with us and to mingle with us and to share with us your time. Vile tushaambiwa, najua tukikuja Kenya kuwaona ni ngori.
Thank you. Several questions have been directed to me. Number one, the issue concerning SACCO and land. The current law, to the best of my knowledge, allows SACCOs to buy and own land and subdivide it amongst its members. So therefore, I disagree with that position that has been said there. And number two, the issue of the right to vote. I was a member of the National Assembly Legal and Justice Affairs Committee, And one of the reasons that Kenyans in diaspora has been unable to vote is because IBC made an announcement, people to come and register. And there was little or quite minimal response from the people in the diaspora. So the stations that were created by the IBC in the last elections were few on the basis of a lack of good response from people in the diaspora. So therefore, going forward, once there is such kind of announcement, please come in numbers. Maybe we were cheated by the IBC, but if you were cheated, probably you can do that representation to the National Assembly or even to the Senate and say, no, that is not the correct position. We can always compel IBC to establish a polling center right here in Dallas. We have that power. Number 3, there is the issue concerning the processes to create a business. That was a presentation that was made by my brother here. He was saying that it's quite lengthy to establish a business in Kenya. It's no longer the case. We amended the Companies Act, we amended the Bankruptcy Act, we made those procedures to be quite simple, including, for instance, previously, it was a requirement of the law that you must be at least 2 directors to form a company. Currently, it's only 1. Previously, it was a requirement you must involve an advocate or what we call certified public secretary to open a limited company. Currently, you don't require that. You only have to fill up some forms at the Attorney General's office. I happen to be a corporate lawyer in Kenya. If you require those services, I'm going to offer for you for free. So therefore, the law has been changed. It's quite easy now to establish those positions. And finally, if you want to invest, Murang'a County has very good areas when it comes to agro-business. That is exporting tea, exporting agriculture products like avocado, exporting things to do with coffee or even milk or any other thing that has to do with agro-processing. So if you're interested, you can as well contact me. Finally, on Wednesday, I've been told there will be a major party at a place called Masai Grill. That is from 7 to Mpakache, and the DJ will be my brother here. So you are all invited to Masai Grill on Wednesday. Everyone, music, Kenyan music, Lingala, whatever, reggae music like me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, most of the issues on investment were directed at national government. I just want to bring a few highlights, and then here Senator has brought it in front. First of all, in 2014, the government established a business environment delivery unit to address challenges facing investors in the country. The unit has representatives from all ministries and focus on bureaucratic steps related to setting up and doing business. Number 2, in September 2015, as I alluded earlier, President Kenyatta signed into law Registration of Business Services Act 2015. This is aimed at strengthening Kenya's position as a destination for investor and for investment. This has been devolved to counties, so please don't fear about bureaucratic red tapes. It has been eliminated. An investment guide to Kenya, also referred to iGuide Kenya, designed by International Chamber of Commerce, provide investors with up-to-date information on business costs, licensing requirements, opportunities, and conditions in developing countries. The GOK does not restrict investors from investing abroad. Rather, in East Africa, advocates for free movements of capital in 6 member states, Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda. The government of Kenya prioritizes investment retention and maintains ongoing dialogue with investors. All bills must pass through a period of public consultation in which investors have an opportunity to offer feedback. This is what we call public participation. And most recently, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta, had meetings. He has occasional meetings with KEPSA, members of Kenya Private Sector Alliance. The last meeting is what culminated in the intense fighting of counterfeit goods, which you have already seen happening in Kenya. So all these things are meant to make it easy for you. However, the government does not have, the government does not have a policy to steer investment to specific geographic locations, but encourages investment in sectors that create employment, generate foreign exchange, and create forward and backward linkages with the rural areas. Please mark those things and you'll never go wrong. And if you feel when you arrive in Kenya and you feel you are running into problem, the Ministry of Devolution and ASAL, we are created to just link the counties and the national government. We are there for you. Otherwise, karibuni nyumbani. Forgive about my attitude issue. I felt I should mention to make it easier for you. I know everybody has been referring to. Don't you worry, we are there for you and we will definitely receive you. Thank you.
And then you give it to me.
In conclusion, I just want to give two challenges to the governors as in their capacities as executives of counties. And my question is, you as a governor, how do you like to be remembered when you finish your term? There are two things in life that you will be remembered for. The first one is for the solutions you have solved, and the other one is for the problems you have created. And I just want to take that to you as a challenge, and for sure just give one example. I'll never forget the work of one minister in Kenya, the late Minister Michuki. He brought discipline in transportation and he cleaned Nairobi River. If one person, and it takes just one person to make that difference, if one person can make that difference, and we have all these governors who are executives of counties, I'm just challenging you, how would you like to be remembered? What problem will you be remembered to have solved when you are in office? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you once again for this opportunity. So I'm going to touch on education because I'm very passionate about it, and I want to make sure that I really echo on that, on education and how we can create sustainable resources. So this is the thing, and education not just about schools, but we need to make sure that we're educating our people, our young people, through the TV, through the radio, through the newspaper, any outlet in the media, like creating movies that are actually great, you know. The thing is, like, we're feeding our young people with, I don't want to say this, I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm just going to say it. We're feeding so many of our young people with a lot of garbage, to be honest with you, on TV nowadays, that is just focused on tearing each other down. And then that's why we end up having a lot of issues with mental health, because they suffer with comparing each other and trying to compete and live a lifestyle that, you know, we try to create shows like Kardashians, and we don't need that. We're very unique. We need to be creating TV ideas that actually feed our young people and talk about real issues, talk about health, talk about finances, talk about like what we can be doing, talk about what happens to the government. So it's just to challenge all of us to really think about things like that, to talk about domestic violence that happens every day in almost every home in Kenya. So we need to really be really real and transparent. And then another thing, I really want to call all the young people to awaken. I know we're there somewhere. I want to call all of you to awaken and join hands with us, honestly, and know that there is nothing for you without you. And that's including each and every person in this room. There is nothing for you without you. Like, if you hear someone is doing something, please be encouraged to support them. I know my friend says she's going to Kenya for 6 months, and she asked who here wants to partner, and I only saw 2 hands raised up. So let's just challenge each other to really want to partner with the individuals wanting to come home. Myself, I'm going to be coming home too, and I'm willing to train teachers because that's my field. I'm willing to train people in the media because I've gone to school for that. So we need to really encourage each other and see how we can work together And also, like you, I'm going to say this because every time I get a chance, I am a voice for these children. Again, I am building a school and a home for these children in Kawangware. If you would like to partner with me, please join me and help support. You can support financially. You can also support by coming home and really getting your hands dirty and making sure that these kids' future are bright. Someone somewhere is depending on your obedience. Someone somewhere is depending on your yes. So thank you so much again for this opportunity. I love these conversations. We're going somewhere, and I know that Kenya's future is very bright. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think a number of the issues that I would have wanted to respond to have been responded to by a few of my colleagues, but particularly on this voting element, I think as long as voting in Kenya is manual, it's going to take us a very long time to be able to have every Kenyan in the diaspora to vote. So I think maybe the best way for us is to ensure that we move towards electronic voting so that we're able to, allow you to participate in the elections, not manually, because going manual would be very, very expensive, and that can be, affordable, would not be affordable to us. But there is one particular escapist statement that was made by somebody that you can't invest in Kenya because you don't vote there. We have a lot of investors investing millions and billions of their money in Kenya, and they don't vote. So I think really let's divorce that. You can come as an investor, look for your business, ask us to make that the process and the environment is friendly to you as an investor, so that you don't tie your investment with voting. I don't think that, I think that is a bit too, simplistic, as it were. You either choose to come as an investor, then fight for your right to vote in Kenya, whether you invest or not. I think that those two things must be separate. There is a whole conversation in our country right now about the cost of implementing the Constitution and governance as it is. And I think it is an important discussion that we can be able to engage in a short while when our Constitution turns 10 or 15 or 20. I think a conversation as to amending this Constitution is alive in the country right now, and I think it is important for us to feed into it. Are we overrepresented? Do we need to cut down on a few organs? I think that is an open discussion that can go on. Finally, there is a whole lamentation about lack of information as to what is available in our country. I will tell you for a fact that ICT is taking root in our country. Whatever opportunity that you need and whatever information you need about our country, if you went to the internet, most likely you will find. And since you people are here, let's also take advantage of that. I'm sure all the 47 counties, all the government entities, parastatals, and opportunity have all of them have their website, they have information. Let us feed in and be able to, learn, so that we don't hear stories of I was conned. I think really due diligence, and if you are so keen about ICT, you can be able to get a lot of things about Kenya in the internet. Finally, feeding garbage. I think also you have an opportunity to contribute to serious debates in our country. In fact, if you go to Kenya today, very few people use television, the TV. We are on social media. That is where a lot of discussions, debates, about all these things. You can be able to participate from where you are. So let us be part and parcel of our country. Let us contribute. Let us critique positively with the intention that we can build our country. Let us shape the future of our country, because at the end of the day, it all rests on all of us. That responsibility, our governors will come and go, 10 years, 5 years. Politicians are there today, tomorrow they are not there. Let us take charge of our country. Thank you.
Thank you again for the opportunity to be here, to meet our government, to put faces with the names, and to be able to identify and really know where it is that we can be able to go to. What was said that this is the last time we'll see you, that if we are able to, when we come to Kenya, we're not going to be able to see you. We are sure that those people who are here, that's not going to happen, correct?
No.
my parents are from Kitui County, so I'm glad that my governor is here, Honorable Ngilu. So I will make that connection. So when I come home in December, I know where to go to and where to address my concerns. And I am the solution. I don't say I as Mweni, but I as a woman, I am your solution. So I will come back to Kitui and bring my answer there. I have the resources, I have the money, I have the will, I have the ability. I will do that. I have been married into Kisumu and Kano. So I am coming home. That is my county. I am coming to make a difference, right? And again, I is not Mweni, but I is that every woman here who has that solution. So don't look too far. We are here to make that answer, and we are your answer.
Wow, wow. Please give a big, big round of applause for our very, very great panelists. I was afraid I was not going to have any audience for this session, but we have tried, and I think we've made very good and lively engagements for this session. I want to just call the moderator to come and, sorry, I wanted to give, first of all, our chair of Council of Governors before I call moderator to just make, we are really almost on closing remarks. Yes, Chair, you have the floor. Please. Yes. Oh, the DG Meru. We agree that he does the vote of thanks? Just a few issues, yeah. Don't worry, you will say those remarks as you close.
Asante. I want to respond to a few issues that have been raised here, which I didn't hear anyone answering. But first, I want to begin with a bigger barrier. And this is something that I learned from the session with the US governors the other day. That opportunities here are enticing. 53% of mid-level jobs remain unfilled. 43% of highly skilled jobs remain unfilled. So 6 million vacancies are available within the United States. But you see, this gives me a bigger worry and how to balance this with our need for the deficits we have back home. How will we balance this? How can we manage the big remuneration that America can pay back home whilst we are still dealing with so many social issues that require huge capital expenditure? I think that is something I want to throw to the diaspora. Because you can say this about home, but then there are enticing opportunities here that does not take us back home, but make many of the other skilled people back home to come here. Having said that, there was a question that came on the spiraling wage bill, the expensive devolution that Kenya has embarked on. I think Kenyans took that decision to experiment on a governance structure that they believed is going to benefit them in terms of development work. So that is something we have to bite, particularly on the area of devolution, because if you are to weigh the expenditure and weigh the benefits the local mwananchi is getting in the rural areas, tackling priorities that the central government was not dealing with or the technocrats were ignoring, then you will see that there was justification in spending that big amount of money for them to be able to gain something. But we do realize that our expenditure on wages, our expenditure on recurrent has been very high. And their effort to work on that, first, number one, when it comes to devolved units, the county government executive and the county assemblies were the biggest expenditures of recurrent. So our institutions that are oversighting, and basically the control of budget,
the Commission of Revenue Authority have put ceilings onto the amount we can spend on recurrent. And those are ceilings that have been respected in our budgets. I know the controller will not approve a budget that has exceeded a ceiling that has been set. So I think, to me, that is a very good control. Also, the Council of Governors and all counties working closely with the National Ministry of Public Service. We embarked on a program called Capacity Assessment and Rationalization of the Public Service. This is a program that was begun in 2015. A report is available, trying to rationalize a percentage of 70-30 between the skilled labor force and the non-skilled labor force. We haven't implemented this program yet. It is right now in front of the summit where we're discussing it. We hope that by early next month, we will make a decision at a summit level on how we can be able to rationalize this so that we can even have a balance, because right now there are certain counties that are overhired personnel. There are certain counties with very huge deficits. There are certain critical areas where we have a very, very huge shortage. Take, for example, teachers. Even though the teachers are eating up a huge part of our budget, but we still have almost 150,000 shortfall of ECD teachers, of primary school teachers, of secondary school teachers. What do? Because we need education to reach out, even to the rural countryside. Same with nurses. I think the ratio is appealing. We've got about 8 nurses to 10,000 Kenyans. Is that acceptable? The only thing that you in the diaspora can help us leverage and deal with this is finding solutions through technology on how we can be able to leverage this shortfall. Because if we recruit sufficient nurses as per WHO regulations, then it means we will have to utilize 95% of the whole budget on paying salaries. One thing that we got in Santa Fe in the discussions is that states here are beginning to leverage on technology to provide services and cut down on the number of nurses that are required, because they also have a very big shortfall of nurses. And I think diaspora, bringing technology that can be utilized, help us with that technology, sell it if you can, but help your country be able to leverage on those particular shortfalls. Finally, the issue of easy service. I know the national government together with us, I think we've combined together to put up Huduma centers in the headquarters of every county. I don't see no reason why at the Kenyan Embassy in Washington, why there should not be a Huduma center to serve the diaspora. And probably not even in Washington, but in our embassies, a similar type of Huduma center that can provide combined services to you. So I think that should be one of the key recommendations of this meeting. And I want to promise you the discussions we've held here and the recommendations we've made, I will bring this matter to the attention of the President and the Deputy President. Thank you.
Wonderful. So you can see we are all committed, and I think I will do a disservice to the great people of Meru County if I don't allow their representative to say one word, because he's the only one that hasn't said. Please, and really allow me to just because there are people here who came because they wanted to hear the voice of their representative.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry for speaking at our chair. Wakenya mjambo. Kama kuna mwewe au mweweni. Baba wega. My name is Titus Ntochu, Deputy Governor of Meru County. First of all, let me believe that our diaspora friends, you are convinced that really there are opportunities in Kenya, a lot of opportunities. Every county is unique in its own way. I think many governors have, talked about their counties. So there are a lot of opportunities. Please grab them now. If I want to be specific about our county, some of the advantages that we have as a Meru County is that, of course, we are an agricultural county. We grow all types of crops, including the only cash crop in the world, Miraa. We have an investment arm as a government. Meru County Investment and Development Corporation is the investment arm of our government that can be able to enter into contractual agreements with third parties, with private investors. So there is already an investment arm for our county that has been created by an act of county assembly. Then, there's something Governor Sang talked about, the issue of you cannot develop unless and until you've got skilled labor. What we've done ourselves as a county is that we've started Meru Youth Service. Of course, the only thing that we've borrowed from National Youth Service is the paramilitary training. The rest of the things we've not borrowed from National Youth Service. So we're already training about 1,000 employees, or rather young people who are already undergoing training at the Meru National Polytechnic on short-term courses on carpentry, masonry, and that. So all the investors coming to Meru County, you will find, of course, affordable labor when you come to our county. We also have a program in collaboration with the national government where we will be titling all the land. Within the next six months, all the land in Meru County will have titled it. So really, as an investor, I heard some of you say there is no way. Investors, of course, it's obvious. As an investor, you want to have a title, you want to be very sure of the land tenure. So we have a program, the national government, of making sure that the land is titled within the next 6 months. Finally, we've got what we call Meru Economic and Social Council that is developing a Vision 2040 for our county, where you see a lot of opportunities that you can invest in. We have opportunities in wind power, solar power. We are scouting for people who can invest in tourism. We want to develop a 5-star hotel in Meru National Park. So please, if you have interest in that area, come and talk to us. We also have a directorate of external linkages, and I want to tell you from next week, we're also going to incorporate a diaspora desk in our county. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Okay, so you can see it was important that we hear everybody that has made the effort to be here today, because of each of you has an interest. You come from a county, you want to hear something from your county. But because everything good has an ending, we must come to some end. I want to say thank you very much. First of all, can you please give our panelists a very, very, very big round of applause for doing a very, very wonderful thing. But before they stop or before they get out of their seats, allow the moderator to just make some very few remarks and call Honorable Governor or the chair, our chair, to take it from there. I think we are really on the very last remarks. Si hata mimi mnipigie makofi jameni.
Well, it seems like the afternoon is coming to an end. There's a lot of work to be done from all the discussion that has taken place, from the summary of all the topics that we spoke that has been discussed: dual citizenship, voting rights, investments, taxation, technical skills, infrastructure, and women being the solution of the problems because they're educated and knowledgeable. And I just want to say, I'm going to echo one of the speakers here who said that we should not be afraid to talk the truth. Sometimes the truth might hurt, but that's what will help us move forward. So I just want to say thank you to the panelists, all of us. I want to say thank you to Dr. Joyce Loboso, the chair of the panel, and all the government officials who came to be with us this afternoon. We look forward to working with you. We look forward to partnering with you. We look forward to building our country, Kenya. And I will hand over this to Alex. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think it would be good for you to transit back to the benches. Let us appreciate the panels. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is amazing and almost coming to a closure. We have had a long and very engaging panels. Let us appreciate them again, please. Put your hands together. And for those that may have come in the afternoon, we will be issuing a joint communique between the leaders of this body and the visiting guests on the action plans as we conclude the function. It will be only fair for me to put across what we have ahead of us tonight. And before we get to the vote of thanks, amongst us, I have seen people who've come later. Remember those that in the morning I mentioned about participatory power of the pastors. I am passionate about them because those that understand diaspora as we know it today, it would not have been it without the help of the pastors. So I want the chair of the pastors to come forward and just introduce his team very briefly. Please do not give us a sermon. Pastor Kinori, are you here? And do not make an altar call. I will tell you that for a fact, nobody will respond. I have not seen Pastor Kinori. Then would I be in order to call Pastor Ruto? I see you here. Pastor Ruto, please come forward. If there are all pastors of this community around, can you stand up for me, please? Pastor Ruto, come forward. I'm not seeing the pastors of, okay, Pastor Govia is here. Please come forward, Pastor Govia. I know we have had a long day, but I ask for your indulgence. We are almost to the end, and we still have quite some good hours. I'll give the pastors the microphone. Pastor, come forward. I want you to just briefly mention your names and speak a big word for Kenya. I'll start with the senior pastor, Ngofia.
I would like to just take this opportunity I believe that we come from a great country called Kenya, that God designed by his own purpose. A country that is blessed. We have a president who is blessed, deputy blessed, governors who are blessed. Let's give a clap to the Lord. Senators who are blessed. And we are not only blessed so that we can enjoy, but we are blessed so that we can be a blessing. And I thank God that we have engaged in issues that are very crucial to where God is taking us as a nation. And together, the vision that God has for us is going to be accomplished. And I believe the Lord is going to give us a signal, each one of us, where we can get in and do what he wants us to do so that our country can prosper. I believe Kenya is so special that in God's mighty ways of doing things and mysterious ways of doing things, the only country that has a national anthem that is very unique, it is a prayer. And I believe that's why Kenya is the way it is. That's why you are there and you are blessed. Because Kenya is a place where the Spirit is moving. There may be challenges, but challenges come so that we can also grow. And right now, the way we started in the morning is not the way we are. We have taken a step And I believe the country is going far. I believe Kenya is going to be blessed to be the entry point of what God is going to do in Africa. I am a Pan-Africanist. And I believe the God who created us is the same God who is here in America. And so let's see ourselves as people who are beautiful, people who are blessed, people who are loved by God, and people who can do great things because we also believe in a great God. May God bless you all.
God is good, and all the time. My name is Father Michael Dangwa. I'm pastor to St. Mary of the Pines back in Shreveport, Louisiana. And so I usually come here for the Swahili Mass for the Kenyan community. And I'm happy to be here. And what I can say is that I committed myself to praying for my country because that's my home country. And I promise even the government officials who are here that we are going to be praying for you because Kenya is a God's country. I'm here especially to see my brother who also came with the delegation, Karongo Adangwa. Can you stand up? So that's my brother in the Kiambu County. God bless you all. Thank you.
Greetings. My name is Joseph Okello. I'm a pastor in Florida, but I'm also the president of Kenya Christian Fellowship in America. It is an entire national organization of 26 chapters, and I'm delighted to be here amongst all you governors. My governor, Professor Nyang' Nyong'o, is here. I'm delighted to see you. Thank you so much. And so let me take this opportunity as president of Kenya Christian Fellowship in America to invite you all governors to our national conference next year, July 4th to July 7th. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Binji Fernandez. I'm the senior pastor for Dallas New Life and Dallas International Church here. I would say one or two things. The Bible says where there is no vision, people perish. It is the vision that you have as a leader that carries people forward. And I want to say that a good vision is given by God. A God-given vision will bring people forward. And also, as much as we talk about development, if there is no peace, there is nothing we can be able to do. So I'm asking that everyone here, as governors and senators and members of the government, our worry sometimes is if there is no peace, we cannot do anything. The Bible is very clear that pursue peace, for without which we will never see God. Also, I want to say that the time that we knew probably pastors are only good for the pulpit, it is actually gone. I am very much involved myself in a lot of community work. In fact, we have another community project coming up in DFW we call Pathway to Health. We had one in San Antonio whereby we spent about $40 million providing free health care. What I'm trying to say is it is important to engage your pastors in whatever is happening in the community, because every week we have an audience. And when we change the mind of people and change the attitude, then we can be able to do development as well. So as we engage ourselves in this, remember all of us that we need to be included on the table. Otherwise, thank you, God bless you, and thank you for finding an opportunity to come here.
Uru wa Yesu, in Genesis chapter 5, verse 5. Oh, you say we shouldn't preach. Okay. I would like to applaud my governor, Governor Sang. I was home in March. I had never met him. We met in church, and I asked if I could see him. He said, come see me on Tuesday. So I went there on Tuesday at 8, and fortunately, he had forgot that I was going with my team. So the secretary said, what are you here to do? I said, I'm coming to see the governor. Who gave you the appointment? I said, the governor. So she called him. And he was on his way almost to Songo, heading to my Tinderet. He turned around and came. And we met. And I give him a hand. He said, I made that appointment, and I had to keep that appointment. So thank you, Governor San. Give him a hand again. Amen. Amen. One of the things that we can learn from our Lord Jesus Christ is a principle of leadership that is applicable both in church as well as in politics. Jesus Christ came down to rescue us. He left the privileges of heaven. He emptied himself, that is, he emptied the heavenly powers, and he lived like man in order to rescue us. There's a principle that we can learn from that, in that he came, he sacrificed himself and made a difference in the whole world. My challenge for all of us, but specifically for our leaders, governors and deputy governors, the principle there is that leadership is taking someone from the worst position to a better position. You who have now been elected, make sure if you leave after 5 years or if you leave after 10 years, make a difference. Make a difference. So that tomorrow we will be talking about you and say, when Governor Sang was there, this is what he did. He made a difference. Don't leave us the same. Don't leave where you left the same. Amen? Amen. Mubarikiwe. Asante.
I will refrain from preaching because I did preach yesterday. And also, we have had very insightful ideas from these, my friends. My name is Solomon Waigwa, pastor Rema Gospel Church here in Irving, Texas. Rema is not an Akorino church. Started it as a non-denominational, I take that back, charismatic Pentecostal evangelical kind of church. Some of my members are people like Brother Karundu over there and others. And I am also a professor here in Texas. How many of you have seen a movie called The Great Debaters? That's my school. And any of you here that has no papers and you've been wanting to do a degree, you better see me. I can hook you up. You can see me through, if you don't see me, you see Alex or any of these pastors. We're going to make sure that you can do a degree, you know, just quietly at home. You can do it online without going anywhere, and nobody will quarrel you. And when baridi ikija usiku, knock on your door, jaribu kufuruta wewe, unaweza kutupigia simu, ndio tukasema, hey, huyo ni mwanafunzi wetu. So you may have somebody to help you if you do that. I think that was good for me to say, Mr. Chairman. But let me say this, you know, my friend said, do something different. And I want to just leave by adding that, be the difference that you want to be. Be the difference that you want to find in the world. I think that was said by Mahatma Gandhi. Become the difference that you want. And some of the things we are seeing in Kenyan politics are very disturbing. In some areas, it's becoming like for you to rise, you have to throw mud to a certain community. Oh yeah. It's like for me to rise, I have to speak against some people. Please change that. Let's see change. We need a new dispensation. And we are the new dispensation. We are so proud of you. We thank you that you chose Dallas to come here and be with us. We are enthused now. And let me tell you, we will bring those dollars across the pond. And we will support those projects. I myself, even before I started Rema Gospel Church, my family, we built a library at a place called Majimoto in Baringo. I'm not even from Baringo. I just happened to be, that's where I taught for the first time when I was a school teacher. And they asked me to help them. And we did that in Baringo, South Baringo. And we have also been, Meru, there's somebody from Meru here. Yeah, from Meru, you know Kanwa? You go to Kanwa Shuka? Yes, yes. Kanwa Shuka, there is the orphanage there. It's a Nakorino orphanage, you know, kuna mzee hapo. We have built classrooms there. You know, and that again was my family before I started Rema Gospel Church. So, we in the diaspora, we just want to help lift our people up. Bless the name of Jesus. God bless you.
I will admit that I was very scared. But now I am comfortable. Thank you, all the pastors. God bless you. And thank you for leadership. Like I said, we have about 22 Kenyan pastor churches in DFW. There's no reason why our bars can be full and not our churches. Somebody say amen. Somebody say amen. That is a powerful statement. Now I want to recognize the people that have funded us. We thank the COG. But before I do that, because somebody says a guest of honor, vote of thanks, I want to say what is ahead of us. In the next 1 hour, we'll be having our dinner here. If you're already in here, don't worry, your food is covered. You do not have to pay extra. All you need is to freshen up, those that need to freshen up, and come back. Tomorrow morning, we'll be heading to the Parklands Hospital. This is at the invitation of the CEO through Jackie, who is a member of NITS. And we have the following governors who have confirmed that they'll be there. His Excellency DG Laikipia. Mwangi is not His Excellency, he's Hon Mwangi, Eric Mwangi. We have Kirinyaga DG, His Excellency Ndambiri, Senator of Laikipia would be there. The gentleman that spoke Swahili. Babayao, His Excellency will be there. CAS Ambassador Dado will be there. The Senator from Ranga, I think you'll be there. Honorable Kangata. DG from Wajiri. I saw him somewhere, but he will be there. We have also confirmed Professor Anyang'o, quite a very experienced person in what he is doing. He will be there. His Excellency Taros will be there. And I think His Excellency Kimemia will also be there. So anybody that want to join us, please let me know ahead of time. We have a very, very limited space because the organizers want us to be very prompt and to be very precise in what we do. They will offer us a good tour for hospital, which is Parklands Hospital, which is one of the largest public hospital in the US. And thank you, Nit and Jackie, for doing that to us. Cruising over from the hospital, we'll be having an invitation to have a cocktail at one of our best friends of Kenya, Beth Plambi. If you have been in East African Chamber of Commerce over the years, this lady has been supporting our government. Those that were here when we had our president visiting us in 2014, she was a facilitator and really an honorable person in our community. Beth Plambi will host us for a cocktail later in the day, and there is also a proposal and actually confirmation that we'll be visiting the Bush Library for those that will be there. Remember, you'll be asked to pay for entrance. It is only $20. I think it is a good thing to see what's happening in Dallas, and it's really well located close to SMU. And as we wind up, we want to remind you there is a KQ raffle ticket available at $10. It is with Elizabeth, buy it. We'll do the raffle draw tonight, and if you get it, you are accessing a free round trip of KQ as we round the inaugural flight in October this year. And one last item as we wind up on the panelists and staff, I remind us as Kenyans in diaspora, besides invest in a home, check the AGOA Treaty. AGOA Treaty offers an opportunity to bring products. They have 2,007 items that can come from Africa. As we know it, all the central region can produce avocados that are more juicier and better than the ones that we eat here. Let us make a deliberate action as diasporians to look at what can you do. It is one thing to keep on telling the government, do this, do that. What can you do? And as an investor, like Professor told us, get yourself the person you want to be. It is about you, so get involved. We can all be here, we can bring all these meetings here, but if you don't want to be involved and actualize what you want, it will be just as useless. So let me call His Excellency Governor Kememia to give his vote of thanks, and it will be followed by Tongi. But as we do that, I don't know whether, Benson, you want us to do the sponsors item before or after?
Later, and we're going to do pictures here for the whole team after that, and then we're going to have Jackie will run the joint communique between.
I don't know how much strength you have. There's one gentleman that is from Zimbabwe, from kwa Mugambe kunaitwa nini? I want to call it with his accent, Zimbabwe. This gentleman is my colleague. The reason I'm calling him because he has something that he wants to give over to the governors as regards to hospitals in Kenya. I'm hoping that you can come forward as I talk about you. Be very precise. This is Hilary Matwasa. Hilary and I have spent 4 months in Nairobi. We have identified the problems in hospitals in Kenya. We did a BPR in Kenyatta for 4 months. Last week we went to Tumoi training referral in Eldoret. We did a Nyeri tour. So we want to go to Kenya to facilitate, to help the county government in areas of HIMS, hospital, whatever. They could be tired, I'm sure, but I want him to say something because if somebody can move to Kenya to do it, surely the governor can give us that indulgence. Hilary, please do. It's very critical.
Hi, my name is Hilary Matwasa. You said 2 minutes? 1 minute? I was actually asked to go to Kenya for 2 days. That was in February, and I'm still in Kenya. So one of the things that I found in Kenya is everybody complains about hospital systems don't work. We don't have enough people, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough this. We spent 3 months at KNH. I can guarantee you, one, you have enough people, you have enough money. The problem is the processes. Half of the people at KNH right now shouldn't be in the hospital.
Patients, you mean?
So if you took half the people out of the hospital, you now have enough people, you now have enough money to take care of the people who are sick, and the ones that shouldn't be there are actually going where they're supposed to be going. So give us a chance to talk to you, actually see what the root problems you're having, and then we'll help you get out of situations without spending more money that you don't have. Okay? That's all.
Very good. Let's appreciate our gentleman. He lives in New York. He's a leading IT developer in New York. He actually created a system in New York State. So he's a very valuable person, and I encourage the governors to link up with him and see what we can do for our country. So let me invite Your Excellency Kememia to come and give vote of thanks. I thank you for your indulgence, and may God bless you all for being here with us. Karibu.
Bas, thank you very much, Chairman. Tupigie Chairman makofi. Asante sana. I've been told to be very, very brief. I'm told people are tired. I can assure you I will not take a lot of your time. I want to appreciate, the fact that all of us are leaders. I know we have been told to leave a mark, to leave our footsteps in the which would not have been done unless you are there. So we want to appreciate the pastors who challenged us, and all of you who challenged us to leave some legacies on account. And I assure you, all the governors here, and I can assure you, I've worked with most of them before and after devolution. We have very, very proactive governors who want to make a difference, governors who are not interested in power, but to make a difference in their counties. So I was asked to pass a vote of thanks. The only thing that we did not mention here, and I need to mention it, is that we also need to develop strong families. I know we are talking in a foreign country, and I know there are challenges when you go to foreign countries. Developing strong families, strong children, patriotic children who still love their country. I want to take the challenge by the young person here, and it was done to us last night. Why can't you also organize that governors come and meet young people? And we have a meeting with them, so that they start resonating with our country, and they get to know our values, and they get to see what we are doing for the youth in our counties. I can assure you, every governor here, you will not be elected in 2022. I will not have been elected in the last year's elections if you did not factor the youth agenda in your manifesto. So I want to assure you that the youth are mainstreamed in all the ministries in the counties. I'm hoping that we shall share CIDPs with you. That word should be mentioned here, county integrated development plans. That one should be mentioned here, so that we put them in your portals, you start leading them, and then you're able to share what you have, and of course the 4 pillars of the president. So I want to appreciate that point, and I personally am very passionate about supporting young people in our counties, and I can assure you all of us are very challenged about the youth revolution that would emerge if we do not factor in our young people in our agenda. So then, of course, the rule of law, I think if we don't talk about it, I can assure you, all of us as governors, we all adhere to the rule of law. And we want to develop strong rule of laws in our country. We want to be a civilized nation. We do not want to see people doing things that would make our nation appear like as if we are going back to the state of nature, to what Professor Nyang taught me to a state of hunters and gatherers. We are a civilized nation. Kenya is very advanced in terms of institutional issues in the country, and a very strong economy, very strong security structures in our country. I think the issues that are going on are challenges that we can be able to overcome. I've been asked to thank several people, and I'm sure towards the end, and what Mzee Kibaki taught me is that in a workshop like this, I'm hoping that at the end of the presentations, at the end of the resolutions that are made, that there will be an action plan, that we shall not just live here and feel good and go home. It was not a talking shop. I hope there are some issues we can actually carry forward to either 6 months, next year. There will be a planning team, a steering group, a monitoring and evaluation team. We can mark certain results, track them, and see that at least from here, those recommendations you made at least are taken care of when you go back to the COG. So I'm sure Chairman here will be very keen that we don't translate this into a talking shop. Kenyans are waiting to see what we have resolved. And I want to assure you that us as governors, and I'm speaking on behalf of my chairman here, and I'm sure he will say it himself, we will make sure that the resolutions here that can be fast-tracked, there will be timelines, and there will be who will take actions, and so that we're able to leave a mark. And so that this becomes one of the most formidable conferences that we held with our diaspora. I want to begin the vote of thanks. Thank the Kenya Diaspora Advisory Council. Thank Alex Kaludu plus your council. Tuwapigia makofi tafadhali. Tuwapigia makofi. Thank you very much for this initiative, for the thought process, the papers that were distributed here. I know it was a short notice. More could have been done. I'm sure next time more will be done. What I said about profiling our country's youth, showing you where you can come in and step into investments, profiling our resources, and you can also profile your competencies. And then you're able to see where we can engage you, where we can hire you, either on short-term consultancies or full-time engagements, or appoint you into consultancies or ministerial positions, or whichever positions that will be advertised. And we'll make sure that once we recruit, those of us who have not recruited, say the CEO, the chief officers, we'll put it to you. Those are those who can qualify, can come in and work in Kenya in our county government. The second person to thank is Ambassador Githai. I know he had other issues he was trying to deal with, but I want to thank that ambassador. I think we cannot regret, since he was appointed as ambassador in this place. I was then head of public service. He has not let us down. I think one of the most reformist ambassadors is Ambassador Githai, who put in trade issues, commercial issues, the interests of Kenya ahead of other interests that we used to see in embassies. I think he was able to actualize the performance contract of an ambassador, and I think he lives a legacy of a role model ambassador who was able to really make Kenya and the US work very well and support our country in all ways. Then the third issue, the third thanks go to the city of Richardson, Dallas. Tuwapigie makofi. Nafikiri tunajua hao. The fourth that I want to thank at the city of Richardson, Dallas. Are they here? Are they here? Or chairman at the city of all the, maybe they have gone. The investors who have supported this institution, we want to thank you very much for being here, for the support you continue to give to us. And I hope that today's engagement will continue to yield results when you see what you want you to support us in our investments. And I talked about a county like Nyandarua. There are so many opportunities for investments, from potato processing, milk processing, the sugar beets, the bamboo, the pyrethrum, the wind power, things like talents, innovation, mega dams, or Bosat Lake. Nobody knows there's a lake called Bosat in the Nyandarua, which feeds 14 counties down there. I'm not marketing Nyandarua here, but there's no harm. Since I was given the microphone, I cannot just speak without talking about Nyandarua. So, but those are many opportunities that you need to. The housing, we are putting 2,000 houses, costing 1 million to 3 million shillings. By then, we are cleaning our towns. If you come to Okalao, it's not a very clean town with Kabla, with tarmac. It's no longer a county of what we call the fine netro and some mud. It's now a modern town. And that's what we are doing as governors, upgrading our cities, preparing for the 21st century urbanization and the growing cities of the 21st century. Then we want to thank number 5, the EACC, not the anti-corruption, but East African Chamber of Commerce. East African Chamber, they share the same acronym, East African Chamber of Commerce. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali wafurahi. Number 6, the Seagate Holdings, makofi kwao. Na sisi pia tujipigie makofi wale ambao tumekuja hapa, tujipigie makofi zote. Of course, I want to thank the governors, the deputy governors, the senators who are here, the CAF Secretary General who is also here, and the many other guests, our pastors who came here, as various scholars I'm told are here, distinguished persons who have been invited here. I can't mention everybody. So I want to thank all of you, those who moderated the discussions here, the chairman, the discussants. I think the discussions were very, very productive, and we had very, very intelligent people. And I'm shocked by the wealth of knowledge of the diaspora. I think we need to engage more. Please give us write-ups on issues that you think we can engage, and we shall be able to benefit our counties as we proceed in the counties. Thank you very much. I don't know whether Madam, where is Madam Jacqueline? There's something, I think, do you want us to do it now or after? Right now, then come over, then there's something we want to present before proceeding on. So Jacqueline will take us through the resolutions of the day, and then we shall all endorse them, and then we can sign them.
Okay. Thank you, Excellency. Excellency, governors present, senators, all the other elected leaders, and all the brothers and sisters in the diaspora. At the end of the conference, we took down some notes on the communique. At every conference we do in the country, we usually do a communique. And these documents, the resolutions that come from the Council of Governors, in partnership with the Kenya Diaspora Advisory Council, Texas. The objective of the forum was to discuss the viable options that could be employed by the Kenyans in diaspora to foster unity both locally and abroad. The meeting also aimed at providing a platform for the Kenyans in diaspora to engage with their duty bearers on the promotion of peace and cohesion. The conference engaged Kenyans living in North America and other parts of USA. The conference made the following resolutions in line with the conference theme, a comprehensive dive into Kenya diaspora. So I'm hoping that we can be able to project them so that everybody can see and follow. 1, that there is need to reduce the red tape on exports of Kenyan products to America. Action, COG, Kenyan Embassy in the USA. Is that okay? 2, that Kenya must heavily invest in research. There is need to invest in research and innovation to drive the Kenya development agenda. Action, national government, Council of Governors, the Kenya Diaspora Institution, Senate, Kenyan Embassy in the US. That both levels of government will build a legally, politically, and economically conducive business environment in order to boost investor confidence. Action, national government, county governments, Council of Governors, and the Senate. 4, that both levels of government shall work together to guard against issues that do not foster unity and cohesion amongst Kenyans. Action, national government, county governments, Council of Governors. 5, that the county governments will develop a framework to facilitate tapping of skills of Kenyans in the diaspora in the provision of services. Action, county governments and the Council of Governors. That 6, that the national government shall deal with the cost of power so as to address the manufacturing agenda and by extension create jobs for youth through this initiative. Action, national government and county governments. 7, that county governments shall come up with alternative ways of decongesting the urban areas as well as seeking to relocate all the hawkers in the urban areas. Action, National Assembly, county assemblies, county governments, and the Senate. Yes, no? Okay. 8, that Kenya Diaspora Advisory Council of Texas, in collaboration with county governments, should organize for periodic trade engagements for Kenyans in diaspora. Action, Kenyan Embassy in the US, county governments, and the Kenya Diaspora Advisory Council. Agreed? 9, that county and national governments should work together in ensuring that women in Kenya are empowered. Action, county governments, Council of Governors, and the Senate. Okay. 10, that county governments and the Council of Governors shall set up a diaspora desk. Yeah, so you can follow it there. We are on number 10. That county governments and the Council of Governors shall set up a diaspora desk and ensure that the desks have information that is relevant on diaspora and county governments engagement. Action, county governments and Council of Governors. So I will ask some from in the diaspora to now read the rest, which are just up to 16. I finish? Yes? Yes.
Can you go back to the research thing?
The research thing.
That's item number...
That is item number 6. That national, no, that is creation of jobs. Yeah, number 2.
Number 2.
That Kenya must heavily invest in research, and there's need to, that is need to invest in research and innovation to drive the Kenya development agenda. We'll just rework it. We say enhance. That Kenya must heavily enhance research. Okay. Migide, please correct that. Yes, Your Excellency. The high cost of power, so we go there. Yeah, that is number 6, that the national government shall deal with the cost of power so as to address the manufacturing agenda. So we say high cost.